What is going on, everybody? It is Wednesday. That means my man Cory Leonard is in the house. We're here for Wild Wednesday with Cory, changing it up. What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot, brother. I didn't even know it was Wild Wednesday. That's a new one on me.
Yeah. Getting wild in this joint.
Getting wild. Getting a little sideways, as it were. Not a whole lot, dude. Got up, same Wednesday morning schedule as always. Get up, go coach, come back. 5-person class at 5 a.m. My 1-person class at 6 a.m. Personal training by Cory.
It's not set up that way, though. That's just how many people come for the class.
Generally speaking, 5 a.m., depending on the workout, that crew is either all in or half of them are going to do something different. And this morning it was squat clean, was a 10 rep max back squat, and it was squat cleans, burpees over the bar, bike, burpees over, but it was sprint intervals, like full on 1 minute sprints with a 1 minute break. And the other 4 that were there were like, nah, we ain't doing that.
So I asked about the 1-person classes. Like when I first started CrossFit, we were a very, very, very small gym.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd show up some days and you're the only car in the parking lot. And that one-on-one session with the coach, because I didn't pay for personal training, I was there to be with a class, right? I didn't like the personal surprise one-on-one trainings where the coach has nothing else to do but be eyes on you.
So I'll say this. The lady who was there at 6 a.m., that's when she comes. She comes at 6. Like, doesn't matter what else is going on. She's there at 6 o'clock. It used to be that there was at least 3 people in there since school started. One of those ladies has moved to 5 a.m. because she has to go back and get her kids on the bus and stuff like that. So like 6 a.m. was never a real big class. There was always, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 people in it. But Tracy's really, really good about listening, going through and doing what I tell her to do or suggest for her to do, I should say, and lets me push her and get her through. Like, she doesn't seem to mind it. So it's not that big a deal.
It's crazy because my first gym, like, there was actually like a business that asked for a 5 a.m. class, and that business brought like 20 people. And so for consistency purposes, you got about 15 a day.
Yeah.
Then I go to Polaris, and their 5 a.m. and 6 a.m., the schedule opens at 8 p.m. If you did not have your class reserved by 8:01, you didn't have it.
Wow.
On 5 a.m. and 6 a.m.
Our big classes are generally the afternoon classes. Like 5:30 yesterday, we had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, probably about 8 to 10 people yesterday at 5:30. 5 a.m., like I said, it's a crapshoot. There's either 8 people in there or there's 4, 5, something like that. And it really does depend because that 5 a.m. crew, they've been there forever. One of them literally since the door opened, since before the door opened, actually, Jared. And they will literally look at the board and go, what is that again? And I go to explain to them, like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're going to do something on the other side. And then the other ones that just come for class, I mean, they come and they get what they got, which is fun. They're a fun group. It's one of them and Saturday mornings that's 2 of my favorite classes to coach.
Yeah,
Mostly because I know all of them. And if you're there on Saturday morning, generally speaking, you're there because you want to be there. It's not just because it's ingrained in your routine, like, oh, I just got off work, got to go to the gym or whatever. Like, if you're there on Saturday morning, you're usually there because you want to be, and it usually ends up being a good time.
Yeah, when I coached the 5 a.m., 6 a.m. once a week. And those were my guys, man. Those are people that were my age. They wanted to listen to my music. And we had a good time, real good time. But I personally, I've done them all. Like, I've tried to do the 5 a.m. I've tried to do 6 a.m. But where I'm most comfortable now at this age is noon, which is why we do the show. And now I'm back to evenings, but it's, but evenings or noon are my comfortable times. I'm so stiff in the morning. Like waking up, like warm-ups are just brutal first thing in the morning for me.
Once it gets cold, or our version of cold for us
Yeah.
down here,
Yeah.
I
Don't tell me
100%
about
feel
cold.
No. Cold for us. Then yeah, my morning warm up. I'm 2 sessions a day. Takes a little bit longer because I got to get blood flowing to all the various parts and places and whatnot. But right now, it isn't too bad. Same thing, dude. I've been to every single class that we have. We used to have a 6:30. I was a 6:30 guy for a very, very long time. But my 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. Big fan.
Sean Lenderman, working out anytime besides 5 a.m. is just wrong. I don't know. So this 5 a.m. squat club guy kept popping up in the chat, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? Who is this?
Got a whole Instagram page.
We've been chatting DM wise, and it's become a little community. And I guess some of the people in our chat do this. They get up and they do these workouts with 5 a.m. Squat Club on a YouTube video at 5 a.m. in the morning Eastern time. And it's become like a little club that shows up every morning in a little mini community. And I think that's pretty freaking cool.
That's awesome. You can start something like that.
Other way. 5 a.m. Squat Club slid into my DMs. Just let's make this who was pursuing who.
Yeah. That's awesome. If you can get something like that to catch on and stay being a thing, you know what I mean? Especially today's age, that's pretty awesome. If you can keep it moving like that, that's pretty cool. I like that.
David Reed, I would love to join 5 a.m., but I'm sleeping.
Yeah. By 5 a.m. this morning, I'd already had breakfast, had some caffeine, and was starting the briefing. Wrote everything on the board, got the bikes out, made the bucket with some soapy water to wipe everything down, and got all the bikes out.
Yes, sir. I am always the huntee. Yeah, in my dreams. I wanted to update everybody on my mom yesterday. She fell at work right before the show. She's doing well. She's home. Had a complete head scan done. No bleeds, no fractures. She did hit her head. That was the big major concern.
Yeah.
Has a pretty good shiner over the left eye, and it's swollen up a little bit, but she's doing well. But here's my question to you.
Yeah.
My mother is, she's going to kill me. She watches this show every day. My mother is at an age where she is so spry for her age. Let's say that. But she is in an advanced age. She falls in a school. She works at a school. Hits her head off the floor. Why the hell did they not call an ambulance?
Right.
Transport her to the hospital.
That would seem to be a pretty easy thing to do. You don't have to call an ambulance. You can call 911, like it's 3 numbers.
They helped her off the floor and had her friend come pick her up to take her to the hospital.
No.
That is flat out irresponsible.
Yeah, I'm about to say irresponsible is the word I would use. That's the word I would use.
If when she gets to the hospital, their main concern is brain bleeds and fractures.
Yeah, they gave her a CAT scan.
She should have not been moved.
No. She hit her head, first of all.
Yeah.
And she's at a school, like she didn't bounce it off the carpet anywhere. Like that was off of probably solid stone at that point. So yeah, no, the first thing I'm doing is calling an ambulance. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So my nephew who lives here in Columbus, he and I were not happy yesterday afternoon.
No. Shit, I'm not happy right now. I don't live anywhere near Columbus.
Yes. And my mom's in Pennsylvania. So we're like
yeah, it's not a close. It's not
close to like grab someone by the neck, you know? And so he called and put in a call to the superintendent of the school district. But we have not heard back yet.
Phone a friend is not an option if an elderly lady falls and bounces her head off of the floor.
Yeah.
It's not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It's Who Wants to Not. That's infuriating.
It is. So anyway, but she's doing well, and she listens every day, and I know that
we love you, Mama Switzer.
Have reached out to me, so just wanted to give an update to that.
If anybody asks, tell them you should see the other guy when they ask about your black eye.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I've got stories, man. My mom is feisty. Big feisty. So, another thing I wanted to talk to you about is yesterday we had our first pop in the Masters age group.
Surprise, surprise, a Brazilian.
Yearly, we
and that's the first, right?
Right. So my question to you is, what's the over under for this year?
5.
You think 5?
5. 5, and I would take the over.
Okay. Yeah. Cory is a Brazilianist. Listen, I was chatting with someone yesterday, and I said, it's crazy what's going on in Brazil, right? And I said, do they put Tren on their Wheaties? And the response was they sell different cereals. They sell Cheerabiotics, like that. Cheerios.
Yeah.
Captren Crunch.
That's clever. I like that one.
And Raisin Branavar.
Raisin. I hope Hiller's watching, because I feel like he could do something with Raisin Branavar. Like, that's hilarious.
Yep. Captren Crunch and Raisin Branavar. Those were my 2 favorites.
Yes, absolutely. No, John George, that lady was in 5th place that they popped yesterday.
I know they go at least 5.
Yeah, because that lady was in 5th. So,
David Reed, this is not isolated to Brazil. It is not, but they seem to lean into it more than others.
From what I understand, and I do not know this for a fact, so this is pure speculation and hearsay on my point, but they're very easy to get in Brazil. Like, you can walk to a drugstore and be like, let me get some of that, let me get some of that, let me get some of that, and then go on about your business. Not that makes it right by any stretch of the imagination, but it's like, I wouldn't know who to call. Scott, I live in South Louisiana. There's bodybuilders, there's CrossFitters, there's, like, name the thing. I know all of them, and I would not. First of all, I wouldn't do it to begin with. But even if I wanted to, I wouldn't know who to ask. Like, how do you? Hey, man, you got any of that Captren Crunch? Like, I don't know. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. Not by a long shot. First of all, your reputation is ruined. Period. Right? Only person we've seen come back successfully from that is Ricky Mack. And that's because, as it turns out, he's a lovable guy. He's an idiot, but he's a lovable idiot, right? He's our idiot. We will protect him. He served his time. He came back. You're going to get blasted everywhere humanly possible. Your reputation is going to be ruined, like I said. And what are you actually doing to your body long term? I'm 48, dude. I do not need any help making my body any worse than it's going to be later on down the road. Chemically. Especially considering the shit I put in my body when I was 20-something years ago, 25 years ago, when I didn't give a damn about what I put in my body. Like, that was a whole different animal right there. I just don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lito's got an excellent question right. Yeah.
I don't like to name out accusations, but I will read it as someone is clearly very good at not getting caught. How are they not being tested 5 times a year?
That's a solid question.
I think it is flat out cash. It is that to go down and to another country and do a test is much more expensive than doing a test here in the United States.
Right.
So regretfully, it's very hard to catch them because the expense is so high. And as someone pointed out here, she is a doctor, so she knows like the half-life, and she knows all the timing of everything. And I believe Hiller did a video about how PEDs stay in women a lot longer than they stay in men because of the way their bodies are made up. And very interesting video he did. I don't believe she's on it anymore. I believe she was on it. So now catching her is going to be hard at this point in her career. If that makes sense.
No, absolutely it does. Absolutely it does. That was the Hiller video you're talking about when he was talking about, especially in women, even if you've only run 1 cycle, 2 cycles, whatever, the long lasting effects from those 2 cycles are going to stick with you for years and years and years and years down the road. More so in women than they do in men. So yeah.
So I think ever catching that person is going to be very, very hard to do, because I think she's already gained the effects of it and doesn't need to do it as much anymore, if at all.
I'll put it to like this: if said person does get popped, it's going to be the heard around the world, because everybody in our space will be like, well, yeah, moving right along.
Yeah. Ken Walters, most of these drug testing companies have locations all over the world, and doesn't HQ have country reps that could accompany? Maybe. I don't know the details of that.
They may have at one time, but I seriously doubt that they do now with all the cutbacks that they made, and especially with PE being people that's running it right now, they couldn't possibly give a shit less. There's no way.
Yeah.
We know, Jenny.
To sustain the muscle mass she sustains year round, though, I don't see how that's possible with female levels of testosterone. Yeah. Honestly, I would have said the same thing until Hiller explained it to me in a video where he showed this woman who had stopped using for a few years and still had massive muscle to her body structure. And I would even say, like, I've seen Andrea Pinheiro over the years. She is not as big as she was 2 years ago, but it is apparent she's still bigger than most women, and she still is getting the effects of whatever was done at one time in her life.
She's not only bigger than most women, she's bigger than a lot of dudes I know.
True.
Anyway, again, over under is 5. How many we had last year? It was either 5 or 6 last year, wasn't it?
I knew we had the 3 people that I interviewed and highlighted, and then we had, I think, a couple more on top of that.
But I wish they drug test me, Birch. I really, really did. I wish somebody would show up to my office right now. I would gladly go with them. Look, they're going to find strawberry, sour pink lemonade ghost, some banana chips, and the protein, the first form protein I had this morning.
Aaron Fraser said, Liver King stopped PEDs and still maintaining muscle. Okay.
Did he?
I also have a bridge in Brooklyn that I'd like to sell you.
He stopped taking them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He stopped taking them. If I stop taking them, you mean that he maybe got somebody else to start giving them to him administering. Oh yeah, no, she's definitely bigger than I am, Birch. I got you. I wish they would.
The podcast ratings if they came and you did it live.
I'm in. Send somebody on down. Send somebody on down. Please do.
So have you seen Amanda Hari's interview with Will?
I saw a clip from it this morning. And by a clip from it, I think
it's already getting
that was it.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
So I had it in my notes, and I wanted to talk today with you about the PR problem that WFP had, right? And it had nothing to do with Amanda's interview. And then I watched that, and I was like, what the hell? Like, they can't even get out of their own way.
I think that's their biggest problem right now, right?
So what I was going to start with is I was watching Boys Interrupted last night, and they're basically saying that if the schedules don't work out better amongst the two, they're going to have to make a choice. And it seemed pretty obvious that their choice was not WFP.
Correct.
And so with them, 4 high-end athletes in the CrossFit space saying that they would most likely choose the CrossFit season over WFP, that's a PR nightmare for WFP.
Big time.
If you're trying to grow and you lose those 4, you're effed. And so that was my thought coming into today. Then when I saw that the thing with Amanda and Will and him saying that she asked, would you ever see the WFP as a semifinal piece to the CrossFit Games season? And he said, no, but I do see the CrossFit Games becoming a tour stop on the WFP.
I'm gonna need a second.
So
come on, dude.
Breathe that in for a second.
Hold on, let me get my Will Moorad on. Hold on.
Look at the ratings on the CrossFit Games. Look at the ratings on any tour stop you've had. And I know we're not to the championship yet.
Right.
Maybe I'm just delusional and Copenhagen is going to blow it out of the water and they're going to be right and I'm going to be wrong. But are you kidding me? What kind of delusion do you have coming in at this place and at this stature to say that the only way you think that there's going to be some kind of working together is if the games become a tour stop?
Bro, that's like saying that the adult soccer league that I used to play in would be a great qualifier for the World Cup. Or the World Cup, rather, would be a great qualifier for the adult soccer league I used to play in. Like, yeah, those guys are pretty good. They could probably be part of our tournament if they wanted to.
That'd be like the college football playoff saying, hey, why don't we think that in the future, the Super Bowl will be one of the playoff games in the college football playoff.
Yeah. We might have to move it a little bit because, they're not usually right around the same time. So we're going to have to move the Super Bowl up a little bit to late December or something like that. That way it doesn't interfere. It can be part of the college football season, the playoff season. Yeah, take us right.
Will is Delulu. He has balls. Got to admire it.
I wish. Look, he has the confidence of a fucking 3-year-old on a diving board. Like, that's amazing.
I audibly laughed when he said that.
Yeah.
Proof you should start whatever business you were thinking of and just be delusional about success. And yesterday I was trying to like defend them. I was trying to like show what I thought they were trying to achieve. And then you like the PR nightmare I thought they had with 4 top athletes saying we're probably, if it comes down to it, and this year was tough enough, if they add more events, we're probably going to have to make some decisions.
Yeah.
The PR nightmare that brought last night to then this morning seeing, yeah, we're good. In fact, we're so good that the thing that's been here for 20 years, we're hoping that they become just a tour stop for us.
We've been here not even a full year yet. We've been here not even a full year yet. But yeah, I think yeah, the games could be a tour stop. Maybe tour stop 2. Again, I admire the man's confidence.
Sean in Oregon, fake it till you make it. Justin seemed very hesitant about next year.
The clip I saw of Justin, yes, he was very
I thought James, that's the one that surprised me, because James has performed well at the 2 tour stops. And he took 3rd at the games. He took 1st at Wadapalooza, and he seemed very, very suspicious about next season being workable.
Especially, didn't they say they were adding another stop?
They are adding another stop. That's
so you're adding another stop. You got semifinals, quarterfinals are back. Everybody has to do that. So you got the Open, you got quarterfinals, you got in-person semifinals, plus however many tour stops these guys are going to do. Plus, if these guys, like if however many they take from semifinals, now you have to compete at one. You might have to compete at another one if you don't make the first one that you go to. You don't make the games on the first shot. You might have to do another one. That's a lot, dude.
People are asking, did he really say that? And it may be just the Brian Friend thing. I don't know. So I can't read sarcasm in text, but it's right here. Let me hopefully I can get the volume on fast.
A CrossFit Games semifinal event.
This is crazy.
I could see maybe in some world the games becoming a part of our season and one of our main tours because we have the exact same roster. But who knows? Yeah, I think that would be awesome to have the games as one of the tours.
Could be a possibility of becoming a CrossFit Games.
There it is.
Pause. Because we have the exact same roster. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have the exact same.
His lips, man.
So what CrossFit saying? Or yeah, there you
go. David Reed, all sports work around their marquee event. Diamond League, as an example, works around the Olympics. He will not watch sports.
World Cups every 4 years. Every soccer league on the planet shuts down during World Cup because that's what's going on. It doesn't matter what else is happening. When the World Cup comes around, when they moved it to the winter in Qatar, everything gets shut down. And in what world?
Will has everyone talking about this event, so he's getting pretty solid PR.
If you look at it from that perspective, from all PR is good PR, even if it doesn't, even if they're talking shit about you, then yeah, absolutely. I would 100% agree with that.
I do think that there's some truth to that, but I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze.
No.
When you have PR that's not positive, you need to then spin it in a way that works for you. They don't have anybody that's spinning any of this stuff. And I made a comment on Amanda's video that when she asked about some of the complications of the season, he just kept comparing it to F1. And I think that the big problem that their people have is they have never simplified what the season is. It's always comparing it to golf, comparing it to tennis, comparing it to F1 and a point season structure. There are tons and tons of people in this space that have never watched F1, never watched golf, and never watched tennis. So you keep comparing it to those sports does not help them understand the system.
I watched tennis when my mom was playing tennis when I was in junior high and high school, when she was playing tournaments around here, because she liked it. And when it came on, if Wimbledon was on, if the U.S. Open was on, whatever, that's the only time. But to follow an entire season, no. F1, pretty cool. If I see it that a race is on and there's nothing else on there, sure, I'll watch an F1 race for a couple of laps, whatever. I like cars.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the extent of it.
Maybe we're not thinking about this in the right way. CrossFit makes perfect sense here. To be fair, the Mighty Ducks went from Minnesota youth hockey to the Goodwill Games. So it can be done in a Disney movie.
It can be done.
In a Disney movie. Tristan Patrick, side note on F1, I started watching Drive to Survive, and that is lit. It really is. But I don't have to sit through the whole race. What I love about Drive to Survive, it gives me all the drama that goes on without having to sit through cars going around in a circle.
Yeah. All around the road course. And I don't know if it's still this way, but when I was semi paying attention to what was going on in F1, like there's not a whole lot of passing. So it's like you qualify, cool, don't wreck. Stay out in front from where you qualified. You're probably going to end up winning a race. Pit stops and whatnot aside. So it's not super exciting to watch for someone who doesn't give a shit about it. Like we'll watch it if it's on because I like sports.
What you don't see in the racing and you see in this Drive to Survive series are like teammates that are pissed because the other one's getting more favorable treatment than the other. So they slam into each other on the track and then they're both out. Right? Like things like that. That's what makes it exciting to watch.
That I could get behind.
John George, I think he's just hurting the credibility of the project. I mean, league.
Am I the only one or alone in thinking this, I should say, is that how long we call it a project? A project is something that like you see through from start to finish, right? If I would be building a deck at my house, that's a project that I'm working on. And then when the deck's done, and then there's no more deck. So the project's over with. So can we call it something else? The World Fitness League, perhaps, maybe the WFL. That probably would make a whole lot more sense. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it.
I think that's the least of their problems at this point.
I agree. I agree. It doesn't sound like a World Fitness Project to me. Sounds like let's get everybody in the world into fitness. Like that's what World Fitness Project. I want to get the world fit. It doesn't scream fitness racing to me. I don't know. See, me and Tristan is like
Serval locks his car doors if he hears he's near a project.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
I'm not disagreeing that the name is awful, but honestly, like that's probably number 72 on the list of things that need fixed.
100%. 100%. That just solidifies the fact that me and Tristan were separated at birth. It's fine.
Yeah, that's a scary proposition there.
That's my dude, man. Oh. Anyway, what else we got?
That's why I put it that he wants a league but calls it a project. I'm with you, Cory. Yeah. So 2027 Tour Stop 3 will be the CrossFit Games in Albany.
Oh yes. Did you see you caught Coffee Pods and Wods yesterday with Pat?
About halfway through.
So same. I started it. I came over here to watch you, hang out with you, and then I went and caught the tail end of it after you got off. I don't understand how you can be involved in something on the level that Pat is seemingly involved in it and know almost nothing about it. or not have any of the know all the stuff that everybody else seems to know. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. And just kept you can't be immune to criticism if you're going to be part of anything, right? Whatever you're in, if you're going to be a part of it, then chances are better not. It doesn't matter what it is. You could be feeding homeless children. At some point, somebody is going to criticize you for doing it one way or the other. And you can't just be, well, everybody's just hating on me. Well, everybody's just hating on this. Well, everybody's just hating on this. No, they're not. This show is a perfect example. Whenever they first announced that they were a thing, Savannah and them was another good example. Hey, this sounds cool. Let's check it out. And then the more they got exposed as to what they were actually doing, I hate using that word expose, but I don't know a better way to put it. Once it got rolling and people didn't understand it and they started making missteps here, there, and yonder, whatever it is, and people are just pointing out the fact, hey, Austin almost lost his balls in the middle of a workout. Ricky had 2 bikes break on him in this same workout, right? Your point structure is kind of weird. We don't understand it. Just all the lighting, the whatever else you want to call it. And instead of going, yep, we acknowledge those things, whatnot, Pat's on there yesterday and just going, well, people just hate on it for no reason. People just hate on it for no reason. No, that's not really what's happening. And I can't imagine living with my head in the sand like that for an extended period of time.
Yeah. Yeah. I again, apparently I'm not to the angry Pat part that happens in the second half.
You're going to eat the last 10 minutes or so, last 10, 15 minutes. It was interesting. I'll leave it at that.
So I'll have to finish that up this afternoon. But I wanted to get through some of the Amanda stuff this morning, and Boys Interrupted was way, way more interesting than with it being the off season. It's hard finding interesting topics in the sport piece of whatever this is. And I cannot wait till Sunday night to talk about their discussion on the GHD. I don't know did you see Boys Interrupted?
No.
So apparently, Hopper does the most beautiful GHDs you've ever seen.
Very nice.
And he was almost apologizing for his technique on the GHD, but they're beautiful. And James is our trash. He's so far out of the thing.
Yeah, they don't look good at all. No.
And so I guess James put a tape mark like they did at Syndicate Crown on his GHD, so to make sure his butt was behind the line. And he said, wow, those are way harder. And so there was a discussion about that. That has been Carolyn Prevo's biggest pet peeve of this season. I swear to God. And I cannot wait to get her topic on that. But back on the WFP, and I've got to go in a couple minutes because I have a 1:00 meeting. Savon, I agree. Pat is such a victim. We have thrown 100 times more criticism at the CrossFit Games than WTF. Yeah, I mean, I've criticized both. And if there's something that they do well, I say what they do well. But all that the people supporting the WFP want to hear is the negative stuff, and then to go trumpet their horns that they're defending the WFP. That's the big problem. Nobody is looking at it with a critical eye. They're doing everything perfect.
Yeah.
Like the statement that Will made that they're going to be the games are going to be a tour stop, because they're so good that the CrossFit Games should just come on over.
Hey, this thing that's been around for 20 years should definitely be a part of the thing that we just started 6 months ago. That's 100% a thing. That's mind-blowing, dude. That is mind-blowing.
It's so dumb. So dumb. And and then this is the last thing I'm going to say is all the promised and innovative media that they were going to come out with, they have nothing in the space that gets the views and the likes of the people that are here. Savon, Hiller, Coffee Pods and Wods, all them. They get shit tons of views. WFP has put nothing out that gets anything close to that. Why? And then the place that could help promote you, you just keep dogging.
That part blows my mind.
You just keep dogging. It'd be like if you were a new startup league and you started dogging ESPN.
Yeah. I want to start a new sports news channel. And the first thing you did was get on and say how shitty ESPN was. Their coverage is terrible. Really? Because they covered everything. I've literally seen cornhole tournaments and tag on ESPN.
They literally hired the Buttery Bros and said innovative and new and unique, and let them do the same thing they've always done.
And look, kudos to Mars and Heber, because what they do, they are very, very good at. They've been doing the exact same thing since however long they've been making videos whenever they started doing the Buttery Bros stuff. But it is 100% recycled every single episode of whatever they do, which is fantastic. Like, if that's what cool, awesome. But to say that they're new and innovative by any stretch of imagination is not a thing.
All right, I got a meeting in 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. Get on it.
And it's with an outside source, so I've got to get going. So, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. I'm sure we'll talk more about this. Maybe we'll have Cory back because we had a short Cory show this week. But we'll be back tomorrow with all that business. And then I'm on the Chris Beesterfield podcast tomorrow as well at 3 p.m. Eastern time. With that, we'll see everybody next time on Lunch with the Clydesdale. Bye, guys.